Hey Sklingar, in this video I'll explain to you like bits of tips and advices for art and for especially oil paintings, because I'm going to talk about oil paintings in this video, and the main differences between oil painting and acrylic painting, which at the beginning I was confused because I thought they were literally the same thing, but they're not. There are a lot of huge differences. So right now I'm painting a George Harrison portrait in oil. I just hope it'll turn out okay, because I did something I don't usually do, so it's just so weird, but I hope it'll turn out okay. So first of all, before you start any painting like acrylic or oil, I want to tell you that the supplies are very expensive. So like, no one told me before starting this, being an artist, no one told me how expensive the supplies are. They are really expensive, and it gets quite addictive, you know, especially oil painting, because I think the majority of artists would tell you that it's so smooth and it's better painting with oil than painting with a acrylic, because it's easier and it gets harder to dry. Acrylic paint dries in like 20 minutes or something. Oil painting, you can let the oil paint for 3 days, because I did that, and it doesn't dry. Doesn't dry at all. So that's an advantage for oil painting. But also a disadvantage for oil painting is that they're very oily, and it kind of gets harder to take them out of clothes or fabric and things, but it's smoother when you paint with them. So yeah, and also they dry very hard, and oil paints, like this is an oil painting that I use, doesn't focus. I don't know why. And they dry very hard, and also they smell awful. So if you don't like smells, or if you have allergies of any kind, um, try to use a mask or something to protect yourself from the odor, the smell that has these old paintings. The next thing you need to know is that it's more like special to paint with oil paintings, because you need all sorts of like tools, knives, more than you need with acrylic. Because when you get the oil paint straight out of the tube, it's very thick. You know, that's why you need to use an oil, a medium, to uh, have this combo of like paint and oil, because you can also use just oil or just oil paint out of the tube, but it's, you know, a lot thicker, and it's harder to paint with it. And also, if you use a medium, an oil medium, it's easier to blend it. You know, that's the thing that acrylic don't have. Like with oil paintings, it's easier to blend the colors between them and have this more like more beautiful effect if you want. And yeah, this is the medium I use. Look like this. It's like very useful, but put just a little bit of oil because of medium, because this one smells awful, awful, and sometimes I feel like throwing up after smelling this. So just use a very small quantity when you want to paint with oil. Yeah, and you have to mix the paint with medium very carefully, you know, so all the oil will be in the paint, so you won't have. Okay. So the next thing that you need, because you need more for oil painting, is that you need a special um a thing to mix the colors, like I do have here. You can't use any normal because um, this one is glass. It's in fact a frame. If you can see a photo frame that I got it because it was much cheaper than the ones I found in the market. And also you need to buy a lot of white, like a tube of a lot of white paint. Look, see how hard it gets out of the tube? It's very, very thick. That's why you need to mix it. And also use mediums. Very thick, very hard to get it out of the tube. And then it gets like 2 weeks to dry completely, and in those 2 weeks the painting smells like shit. It smells awful. So it's better to have like a special room where you paint and let your paintings dry, because it's like safer that way. But in fact, I don't have like a room where I keep them. I keep them in my room, and it's like smells kind of funny, you know. But I got used with the smell. And I want to say that the fact that I've never been to a art school, or I've never taken proper art classes before. So that's I want to tell you that I'm not a professional painter or something, though I've been painting for a lot of time, and I just do enjoy what I'm doing. And much of what I'm saying here is like proper my experience, and what I do with my old paintings is like pure talent, let's say, if you want to, because I don't know techniques. I don't know. I barely know like the very, very basic techniques. For example, like the only professional like technique I know is the color one, the color technique, and yeah. Though what I'm doing here, I don't use the grid because I've seen a lot of artists saying that it's easier to use the grid, you know, while oil painting or drawing or whatever. But for me, it's harder, you know, because what I'm doing here is just my talent, and yeah, that's what I want to tell you here. Because, but I do give good advice because I've been painting for a long, long time, and I know what I'm doing. Uh, yeah, so it's very smooth and very relaxing. So I do recommend more like oil paintings, but you must be very careful with them because they're more toxic. And also, when you try to get the oil paint out of your brushes, I do not recommend at all to use solvents because they're very, very toxic and are not good, especially if you have like younger brothers or sisters, or if you have pets, because that's not good at all to use solvents, not even for your own health. They're very, very toxic. So when trying to get the oil out of your brushes, I do recommend like try with soap and warm water, but don't use cold or hot water because it'll ruin your brush. And yeah, try to use warm water with that hard soap, you know. This is the stage I'm in right now. I think it looks gorgeous, and I can't wait for this to be finished, this piece. Now I'm going to show you the paintings that are already finished. Okay, so I want to repeat the fact that I have never been to an art school or I've never taken proper art classes, so be like more like sensitive because maybe they're not the best paintings, but it's what I did. I'm very proud of them because it took a lot of time and a lot of passion and a lot of work, hard work to achieve the final product. So I'm going to start with what should I start? I'm going to start with these ones. Okay. Yes. So like I barely know any techniques, not only for painting but also for drawings. I just hope you like them. This is the second one that I want to present. It's just so magnificent. I adore this. Is one of my personal favorites. That I got here my latest achievement, which is Paul McCartney with his cardboard cutout. This is from in the Yellow Submarine promo, I think, yes. And I wanted to have like a background, a groovy background, very this late 60s, very colorful. I don't much use this a lot of colors as you've seen in my previous ones, but I wanted this to be like something different, so I tried something really new for me. Got here like a piece of canvas that is the biggest I've have, and I just want to start painting on it. I'm not too sure what I'm going to paint, but I want to do something like really great because it's the only big piece of canvas. There's I'm so excited to finish this painting with George Harrison so I can start the new project I'll be working on very soon. As you can see, this is like really huge. Look at it. So I'm going to like do a comparison between this one and the one that I usually paint on. So you see that this is such a big challenge for me, and I just hope this will not drive me insane because I'm such a perfectionist, and I hope it'll be amazing. George Harrison's is like the painting of George Harrison is staring at me. Why are you painting me when this area? I should paint him, finish him. The canvases I usually paint on, they look like this. Very small, very cutesy. And the one that I bought. Look. This is huge. This is huge. My biggest project and the hardest one. So I'll be ending like this part of the video, finished George Harrison drawing, showing you the results, and afterwards start the my biggest project ever up until now.